Hi Wisdom Tree Preschool. Today we're going to learn how to groom Beluga for her riding lesson. We always want to make sure that our horses are hooked up to cross ties. That way they don't decide to walk away. We're in the middle of brushing them. To get started, we're going to use a couple of brushes before we tack up Beluga for her riding lesson. Here we go. The first brush I'm going to use is a curry comb. The curry comb helps to lift up all of the dirt and hair and dandruff that may be on Beluga's body. I'm going to do big circular motions along her neck and shoulder and her belly and her back area to make sure I lift up all of that stuff before putting the saddle on. And then when I go to switch to the other side, you always want to make sure that you walk in front of the horse and not the back of the horse so that you don't get hurt. Miss Beluga loves getting curry combed. She thinks it's just like a massage. The next brush I'm going to use is the hard brush. The hard brush gets all of the hair, dirt, and dandruff that we just lifted up off of Beluga's coat with our curry comb. I'm going to do big, long strokes against Beluga's body, going with her hair, not against her hair. And as you can see again, I'm walking to the front of Beluga to switch to the other side because it's very, very unsafe if we walk behind our horse. And just like how I did on the other side, I'm doing big, long strokes against Beluga's coat to get all that hair off. The next brush I'm going to use is my soft brush. The soft brush smooths out all of the hair that we just brushed with our hard brush, making Beluga nice and shiny and silky and soft. On my way to the other side, I'm going to stop and brush Beluga's face. She loves getting her face brushed. She also loves it when you use the soft brush because the hard brush sometimes can hurt their face a little bit when you're trying to brush their cheeks and forehead. Just like the other side, I'm doing long, long strokes against Beluga's body, starting with her neck, making my way to her shoulder and belly and backside. The next step in grooming is using healthy hair care. Healthy hair care is going to make Beluga's hair nice and smooth. So first I'm going to spray Beluga's mane and brush my brush through it to take out all of the knots. Then I'm going to make my way to the back side of Beluga, and I'm going to make sure that I'm standing off to the side so that I don't accidentally get kicked. I'm going to spray Beluga's tail and take my brush and brush right through to get all those knots out, making sure that I'm still standing off to the side. The next part of grooming is picking out our horse's feet with a hoof pick. The hoof pick helps to get out all the dirt that's impacted into our horse's foot. So I'm going to pet Beluga's shoulder to let her know that I'm standing there and gently slide my hand down her leg to let her know that I want her to pick it up. I'm going to take the metal side of my hoof pick and push in to scrape out all of the dirt that's in Beluga's hoof. As you can see, she has a horseshoe on her hoof, which just helps to protect her feet and keep them nice and strong from all the rocks and dirt that are outside. Then I'm going to gently brush Beluga's hoof with the brush on my hoof pick and make my way to the back side. You always want to make sure that you're standing off to the side when you're picking your horse's back feet, just so that they don't accidentally hit you with their foot. And just like how I did with her front foot, I'm going to take the metal side of my hoof pick and scrape out all of that dirt that's on the inside and that's stuck to her feet. And then I'm going to gently brush them off with the little brush that I have on the other side of my hoof pick just to make it nice and clean. After picking our horse's feet, we're going to use hoof dressing to put on all 4 of Beluga's hooves. Hoof dressing just helps to protect your horse's foot from all the moisture, and it also helps strengthen your horse's foot to make sure that it doesn't break at all or chip when they're getting used in everyday lessons. So as you can see, I'm painting the entire hoof wall from front to back, making sure that I walk across the front of Beluga again to make sure that I'm nice and safe and not walking behind the horse. The last step for grooming today is fly spray. Since it is still warm outside, we still have some flies that are hanging around and bothering our horses. I always want to make sure that we don't spray our horse in the face because that could hurt their eyes. So we're just going to spray Beluga's legs, shoulder and neck, belly, and backside. And of course, to finish out our grooming session, Beluga deserves a nice, sweet treat. Thanks, Wisdom Tree Preschool, for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you next time.